Okay, so this is my little problem pool at the moment. I've actually managed to get the pool back from pre-green to this. So this is all the chemicals are in there. It's actually working. The filter, or the pump is working and pumping water through the filter. But you can actually see down the bottom here, we've actually got a whole bunch of sand and dirt. So the creepy crawly has been doing its job, no problem at all. The only problem has been that the actual sand filter is not working anymore. So, I think this is about 15 odd years old, but inside of this there is sand and these little arms. Anyhow, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to replace this filter. So I've got the exact same filter that we're replacing it with under instructions, which is good because it means that we can just literally pull this old one out. This is the new guy. So exactly the same. It's a Waterco S702 there, and interestingly inside we're going to have a bit of a sneak peek into one that's brand spanking. So inside you've got this pole, that's where the water gets fed down through. This will eventually be full of sand and water in there, and yeah, the water gets flushed down through these little filtery things at the bottom. I'll see if I can pull it up so you can see. If you're ever replacing them, they're bloody expensive to replace these little arms inside. But if you are ever replacing, you've got to basically take the whole thing apart, get all the sand out, which we'll show you in a sec, and fix those. But we're just going to do the easy fix, hopefully, and put this one in. That's the head unit. So it actually came with the full head unit and on it, so it's going to be nice and new looking as well. Interestingly, in the quoting, I got this one for $1,100 Australian, including all of the sand. Have a look at that. This has got 9 bags of sand that's going to go inside, and that becomes the filtration system. But my scary thing is inside that other one, there's actually 9 bags of sand that I've got to get out. Let's have a look at how we do it. First, we've got to get off these guys. So we've got to try and actually wind them off. I'll have another crack now. I tried to do it with bare hands. It would not budge before. Now, equally. He's not going. Yeah, I'm going to use a screwdriver and a little hammer to loosen this guy up. So let's just see if that might do it. There we go. So that is a nice little result to get this one undone. A little bit of water coming out there. That's cool. So that's the waste pipe. And then this one here, equally, we're going to try and undo that one. Okay, so all nuts are off. Little washers here as well. Now, let's do a little look in here. So this thing just wants to wobble, and off comes that head unit. And delve down and show you inside of this. So you've got that central pipe, and then it is full to the brim with sand. So this thing's going to weigh, I don't know, it's going to be like 500 kilos with water in it. So I've got to try and get some of the water out, and then we're going to go to the next step. Okay, well, that really sucked. That was hard work. I've managed to get the filter out of its position there, and it was actually pretty just manual labour because it was having to dig inside and get inside this bloody thing and literally just dig it all out. So hopefully you can see inside. So here we go, delving into this little guy, and you can see there, that was our problem. There was a broken leg in there. Now, for anyone that wants to just go and fix one of these things, I've got to tell you, that is really hard work getting that sand out of there, to just then fix the leg up and put it back in. But hey, I suppose you can do that if the outside's in good enough nick. There's the little broken piece, and yeah, I really don't know, other than the whole thing was full of sand. So even inside that. So now I've got to shovel or get rid of all of this sand and then put the new one in. Okay, so out with the old and in with the new. So have a little look inside. I've actually already put the little bit of plastic in there because you do not want to get any sand in there. But have a look at how gorgeous and new you are inside. So all of those poles are in position, all marked up nicely. And I've cleared a spot here. I'm not going to get rid of the sand just yet, but cleared a spot nice and flat there. So I think we're pretty much ready to pop him in. And because we've already had the pipes there previously, hopefully everything just fits in absolutely perfectly. Now, one of the big mistakes that I made with the other fiberglass is I put my knees around it and got lots of fiberglass bits in my legs. So don't do that. It really hurts. Okay, when it comes to fitting these, the instructions clearly say you're going to have the information from the filter facing forward, including the serial number. This is the head unit now on. The head unit comes initially with these little converters, but because this has already previously been plumbed and it's made it nice and easy, all I've got to do is make sure they're all lined up. And I might have to actually chop this side up a little bit, but we'll move it back. We'll move it forward. There we go. Move it back. And I'm going to line them up later. But I've actually got to fill it with water, half full with water now. So I'm going to rip that off. We're going to make sure the interior has got that little plug of paper or something in there, just so that you don't have any sand go down inside of the pipe there, because I'm actually going to put a placky bag over that as well. And from there, we're then going to add all of the other sand back in. So we'll have a look at that in a sec. Water in here until it's about half full, and what that's going to do is it's going to stop the sand sort of going down so hard on top of this lovely internal piece. All right, so we can go to these guys now. So these are 25 kilo bags, of which we've got 9 of. Right, you can see that's actually sticking in the middle pretty nicely there, because you've got to make sure it lines up well later. And just like making IKEA, I reckon that was about my worst one, and they should get better from here in. That's 9 bags in there. Water's come all the way to the top. Now what we're going to do is get all of that in. Really important to have that bag there. Or you're meant to get supplied with some sort of cover for it and a centre, but that looks nice and centre. So now we'll push all that in and we'll get the lid on. So we've cleaned up all around the outside. We've got no more sand, so we can take off and take out all of that. And that is nice and clean in there now. So what it talks about is getting, a bit of silicone around all the seals. Nicely lubricated in here. And I'll just give that a bit of a lube. And just for giggles, we'll give these guys a bit of a go as well. Do not use a petroleum jelly or anything like that. That is not the desired one. So we want to make sure our centre is lined up, which it looks as though it's not bad. That's gone on pretty well. Oops. The washers and the nice shiny new nuts on top. We're going to do these just finger tight. This has been really quite difficult on your own. If you have the option of having someone do this professionally for you, it was about $300 to get this done, I think. And now that I consider it, I would have probably been better off doing that, because this was pretty full on. But if you don't want to pay someone, you get them to see me sweat and do it. Okay, so last things we did was I had to do the tightening up of all of these guys. It said finger tight, but it needed to be more than finger tight because there was water coming out of the seal. These guys here, they ended up having to be tightened again with a screwdriver because it was pretty tight because it had been previously fitted. The thing that I absolutely stuffed up was I didn't measure up the pipe for the what's it called, backwash. So I've got to actually fit that properly tomorrow, chop it, and bring the pipe back so it goes down the proper hole for the backwash. So you definitely do all three of the pipes if you're reinstalling. What else? So I put it on the backwash first. Just got the water a little bit clearer out there. It's not leaking now. I tell you, the pressure on the filter now is just beautiful. The previous one, because it was broken, it was all over the shop. This is now reading 50 kPi in there, and beautiful amount of pressure coming out. Pretty much turned it straight back on because everything else was working. Okay, so here is the old filter. We'll just have now a bit of a squiz at the pool because the pool had been balanced correctly, so all of the chemicals are right, but it just was not getting clear. And as you can see here, there was actually sand in the pool. So that's the big giveaway that there's something wrong with your sand filter. When you've actually got sand coming out of the jets, that means that little internal part is broken. Now we have got it on. I'm going to leave it on overnight so that it gets a chance to filter through all of this muck. And I reckon tomorrow morning it is going to be clear as a bell. Thanks for watching. Now the end result after a couple of days, it is absolutely sparkling and swimmable. But yeah, definitely worthwhile in the end, and saved, I don't know, maybe $400-500 when you think about the costs. So yeah, absolute beauty.